Live from the running event in Austin, Texas, I want to welcome you to this week's edition of Mountain Outhouse News. I'm your host, Jam Jam. This is the craziest that happened in running this week. This week's stories include a sub 4-minute mile at the running event, lottery season overload, and Camille moves up to the 48-hour. We begin this week with an update on a story we've been following all year, centered around the incline in Manitou Springs, Colorado. Greg Cummings, a local to the area, is attempting to break the record for the most inclines in a year. Well, on day 326 earlier this week, Greg hit 1,619 climbs, meaning he's now only 100 away from matching Roger Austin's formidable record set 4 years ago. Stay tuned for an update soon on Greg's progress. Another milestone in running was reached this week in the streak running world, and this one just blows my mind. 21-year-old Solomon athlete and owner of Move Free Designs, Patrick Heron, believe it or not, just surpassed 9 years of a run streak where he's run at least 1 mile every day. That's 2,924 days. And when I was on a run earlier this year with Patrick, he says his streak has evolved to at least 1 hour of running per day, and it must be done outdoors regardless of weather. One more epic milestone, and shout out to someone from my home state of Arizona. Hal Gensler at this past week's Arizona Road Racers Thanksgiving Day Classic completed his 1,000th race. Congrats, Hal. Moving into the world of podcasts, a new one was launched today, the Coopcast from Ultra coach Jason Coop. His first episode is all about the vegan diet and ultra running, which I'm sure will spark some hot takes out there. Check it out where podcasts are found, and stay tuned for the opposite side of the coin soon, as it looks like he might jump on a debate with Jeff Browning and Zach Bitter on the keto diet. A potential boon for future U.S. world teams, ultra runner and coach Ian Charmin became an American citizen this week. He says he's looking forward to voting to elect a government to help take better care of the planet and take climate change seriously. Welcome home, Ian. Give it up for Ian, come on. Ethan Newberry, aka the Ginger Runner, whom we are dearly missing out here at the running event in Austin, is in the midst of his first 100-mile training week ever. He announced this week on social media his goal of hitting the century mark, something he's never done before. Through Wednesday, Ethan had already racked up 40 miles, a 15-miler on day 1, 10 miles on day 2, an easy 5 in the morning on Wednesday, and 10 more in the evening. We're rooting for you, Ethan. The first week in December has us reflecting on this past year of racing and training, but also looking ahead to next year. And you better make those plans quick. It's full-on lottery season for 2020 American Ultra Racing, so make sure to get those apps in, folks. Leadville, Wasatch, Lake Sonoma, Way Too Cool, just to mention a few, are all accepting applications for next year currently, and Angeles Crest will be just around the corner. And don't forget the big daddy of them all, the Western States 100 lottery is taking place this weekend from Placer High. Typically, we'd also be gearing up for Hard Rock, but with this year's cancellation due to avalanches, there will be none this time around. With some thoughts on the Western States Lottery, we now go to our Beast Coast correspondent, A Wizzle.
Hey, Outhouse Nation, how you doing? It's A Wizzle, checking in from the Beast Coast. Hey, it's the first weekend in December, and that can mean only one thing. It's Western States Lottery Week, and there are over 6,700 people entered in the lottery, and I wish all of them could get in, but they can't. So for those of you who don't get in, please don't get all hurt and negative and blaming the system and talking about how unfair it is. Please just sign up for another race. Go online, check out what's out there, and find another great event with great volunteers, beautiful scenery, and this ultra community we know and love. While I love the emphasis on my favorite race, Western States, there's so much out there. So take that disappointment and turn it into success. From the Beast Coast, it's A Wizzle.
Thanks for that, AJW. There are plenty of other races out there, but still the best of luck to all in the lottery this weekend. The winner of the Ultra Running Magazine 2020 Western States Entry Contest was announced this past week. The magazine hosted the competition in association with Western States this year, asking readers to submit how Ultra Running Mag has helped inspire you to reach your goals. Of 172 submissions, pretty good odds in my opinion, Jonathan Fletcher of Fayetteville, North Carolina, was selected the winner, writing that he's an average dude who waits every month for the magazine to arrive to read about the coverage, gear, and new races. It reminds him that this is his sport and he fits here. Although he says he has flat feet and overpronates, every article reminds him that he can do this. He says he shouldn't be an ultra runner, but he is. Shouldn't be able to finish a 100, but he has. Awesome. Good luck next June, Jonathan. Now on to some races from the past week, the first being the final in the 2019 Ultra Trail World Tour at Ultra Trail Cape Town in South Africa. The 100K race features over 14,000 feet of climb, touring some spectacular terrain across the tip of Africa. Beth Pascal, who's already had a strong season with top 5 finishes at both Western States and UTMB, won in a new course record of 10 hours 55 minutes. Emily Hawgood of Zimbabwe was second in 12:03. On the men's side, Cody Reed, who struggled with a couple injury setbacks this year, was the victor over Francois Den in 10 hours 4 minutes. Francois was just 7 minutes back. Next we head to Oman for the second edition of Oman by UTMB, which added a 105-mile option to the lineup this year. Ian Keith of Ireland came out on top in that distance with a win in 36 hours 4 minutes, showing just how tough that course is. The women's winner was Carowin Niwa of Japan in 41:29. More competitive was the 130K variant, which saw Francesca Canepa of Italy battling it out with Meredith Edwards, with just 7 minutes separating the two at the finish. Francesca won in 26:11. For the men, Romain Olivier won in 18:18, followed a bit behind by Julian Shorier. A couple American men went over, including Mike Foote in 23:04, placing 6th, and Brett Rivers in 7th. Back in Arizona, the FatOx 48-hour took place at historic Nardini Manor around a 500-meter loop. Despite a heavy rainstorm that brought 3 tornadoes to the Phoenix area, the rain cleared up just prior to the race start. Winner was John Moroshik with 185 miles, with Synovia Baca leading the women with 146, 4th overall. Right here in Texas, we're looking forward to the 2019 USATF 100-mile trail championship this weekend at the Brazos Bend 100. The flat and fast course should produce some fast times, as long as the leaders stay clear of those Brazos Bend alligators. Top men's entrants include Patrick Reagan, Ronnie Delzer, Jeff Ball, while the women's feature Michelle Yates, Denise Barassa, and Chandra Moore. The Olympic Stadium in Tokyo was just finished, and photos unveiled by World Athletics, formerly known as IAAF, were now just 8 months out from the 2020 Games. Speaking of the Olympics, one name on the women's side who will be absent on the starting line of the marathon, U.S. Marathon Olympic Trials, will be Gwen Jorgensen, 2016 gold medalist in the triathlon. She announced in 2017 she'd be leaving the sport of triathlon to pursue the gold medal in the marathon at the Olympics, but has decided to instead work towards track and go for the 10,000 meter. In FKT news, Kim Collison set a new best time on the Bob Graham round in winter. He took off a few hours from the previous best time, finishing in 15 hours 47 minutes. In order to qualify as a winter attempt, it must be completed between December and March 1st. Camille Heron will take a crack at a longer distance at the end of the month at the Across the Years 48-hour in Phoenix. After setting records in the 12-hour, 100-mile, 24-hour, Camille is now looking to extend her range into multi-day. Stay tuned for coverage of her run on the first of the year. Now for some stories from the 2019 The Running event. The industry trade show is back again in Austin this year, and we've seen some interesting things happen. First is Anthony Famiglia, aka Fam, who's a 2-time Olympian in the steeplechase. He kicked off the show with a sub-4-minute mile treadmill attempt, following up on his successful completion of the feat on his 41st birthday on November 8th. He kicked things off in the Zwift booth at 3:58 pace, and as the seconds ticked down and the crowd clapped and cheered, he maxed out the treadmill at 17 miles per hour, and matched his personal best of 3 minutes 55 seconds. I can tell you it was pretty incredible to witness in person. Nice job, fam. Then there was the Indy 5K, a cross-country exhibition race for attendees that kicked off this morning at a local golf course. The Squirrels Nut Butter mascot, Timber, was back in action this year and bettered his time from last year by something like 3 minutes. Way to go, whoever you are. However, he wasn't the only creature running, as Jesse Thomas, CEO of Picky Bars, dressed as Pickysaurus, raced co-founder Stephanie Bruce in the 5K. Stephanie crossed first in 16 flat, first female, and Jesse was 136 back, still in an impressive 1736. I have to thank the American Trail Running Association for helping to set us up this year for this live show. Be sure, for those of you that are here at the live show or online, check out this special edition of Trail Butter. It's being sold to support the U.S. mountain running teams. I also have to thank Sufferfest Beer for providing our live audience with beers right here at the Trailhead stage, and the running event for hosting this first ever live edition. And with that, thanks for tuning in to episode 174 of Outhouse News. But before we go, we do have a special segment, and I'll be joined by my co-star at Mountain Outpost, Skylar Gizzlefresh Hall, to talk all things Mountain Outpost. So I wanted to bring Skylar out here. If you guys don't know what Mountain Outpost is or this news show, we put out a weekly news show on the craziest stuff happening running each week, so check it out. We post it once a week, but we kicked things off with Mountain Outpost. What would you describe Mountain Outpost as?
Just a PSA on how to ruin your life. It started off as an adventure and then became survival, and now it's just spawned something that's so spectacular. It's a community, but it's also just a warning to never have kids and let them watch this.
So we like to have a little bit of fun. So we have a clip for you from our mystery drop bag challenge. This was the very first video we ever made, the first dumb idea we ever had. So I think we're gonna put that up on the screen now.
3, 2, 1, go.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Coca-Cola
Lord.
V8? Are you kidding me?
Is this a top? What is this? And it's a long sleeve? This is way too hot for this.
All right, Coke's down. I got V8, I got hot tamales,
Okay, I
salted
got
caramel goo,
This is gonna be entertaining.
oh, and I got a nice little sun hat here. All right, V8 going down the hatch. I got about 30 hot tamales here. Dude, thank God I don't have those.
First endurance and coffee powder. What? Oh,
I still got 3 products to eat.
What do you got?
oh, oh!
Enjoy it, savor it. Who's gonna do this combination?
This was the worst.
All right, I'm gonna try and make a concoction here. I've got a waffle, and I'm gonna gel on top of it.
I mean, at least this person.
Caramel, salted caramel goo on a caramel waffle.
Okay.
That's all caramel.
Dude, that's such a better.
It's delightful. Okay, one
Honestly, the most upsetting part of this might be how unflattering this top is on me.
cherry on top.
Still doing better than I did at Whiskey Basin.
Ah, going.
Oh God! So much stuff.
Coca-Cola, V8, and hot tamales. It's not a favorable combination. Oh my God. Just what I was needing. Jacket. We got first aid kit here, Band-Aids, salt tabs. Don't you know all the salt tabs?
Yeah.
3/10 of a mile, my ass. That is a legit full mile.
So that was just a clip. If you guys want to check out the whole episode of that, it's up on our YouTube channel. So you participated in that, and what's your recollection of that day?
I'm pretty sure I've blocked most of it out at this point. So let's give a little bit of context. When you say that this is a challenge that we devised, it's a challenge that you and Haley devised and gave me no real setup for. So I just showed up not obviously we didn't know what was in the bags, but I had no idea that the course was actually a mile instead of the quarter mile that you told me it was.
Details.
I had no idea whether or not these drop bags cater to our specific dietary restrictions, you being vegan, me being lactose intolerant.
Boost.
Yeah, little fun that was had there. But I think there's a section later on in the video where you actually see me pull out my phone and just start texting work and saying like, I'm not coming in after this. Because in our minds, we thought like, oh, it's a mile, it'll take like 20 minutes. We were out there for like 2.5 hours in actual time. It was a bad day.
You weren't gonna text someone like, help me, please?
I mean, I did have the person I was dating at the time nearby in a car in case things went sideways, and it was definitely a rough drive home, I'll put it that way.
So since then, we've done quite a few challenges together. He used to live in Phoenix as well, since moved up to the Bay Area. But should we show the clip from one of probably our worst ones?
Oh yeah, let's go for it.
So do you want to set this one up?
So we had done a challenge which is like creating our own goo flavors, and one of those flavors had been a particularly spicy gel. And again, somebody had the bright idea of how spicy can a spicy gel be? And because we can't just eat things in studio normally, we thought, oh, let's also, in the middle of a Phoenix summer, run while consuming these gels as they normally would be. And thus, chili pepper goo was born.
And we're off, baby. Pretty tasty.
Oh God.
Honestly, that one wasn't too bad. The only burn I'm feeling so far is in my legs.
All right, right now, my mouth is fine. I'm also only like 2 minutes into this, so I'm not gonna hold out too much hope.
Reaper. Oh God. Have you seen what these things look like? They look like it's gonna kill you just touching it. My stomach is not ready for this. Oh God. Oh, hell no. Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty awful. So we. What's next for Mountain Outpost? I know we haven't done much lately. Do you have anything in the pipeline?
Yeah, well, we've been doing our individual projects. You obviously getting ready for Barkley. I imagine will be some run steep vlogs coming. I'm getting ready for Boston, so run flat, stay low / let me fix my back videos are coming. And then we have a couple of challenges in the chamber that may be coming out sometime soon. Some involve a golf course. Some may involve how do I put this delicately? 21 and over activities, and some may also involve vomiting. No guarantees either way, but we got some things coming down the pipeline.
So how'd you stick around after that chili pepper goo one?
I don't know, dude. Like pretty much the next week was when I got news that I was moving to the Bay Area, and I was like, thank God I'm gonna avoid this guy. I think most of it's because I'm dedicated to you and your success, and if that means that I have to turn myself inside out on camera so that you can bring the people, Mountain Outhouse News, and continue to bring the community together, then that's the small sacrifice I can make to the community. But don't get me wrong, my digestive system has never been the same after that.
I think I've actually gotten better because of it. All the awful things we put in our bodies through these challenges that I think it's actually helpful for ultras. I don't know.
Yeah, because you run ultras, and for the run flat stay low crew who was like, like a nice turkey trot 10K is good, this has done nothing positive for my general well-being. Honestly, it's probably done like mediocre success for my dating life, and that's about the only upside.
So, anything else to add?
I mean, I want to thank TRE for having us, and everybody here. Thank you all for being a part of
Thank you guys.
Thank you for your support for 3+ years at this point, which is wild. And if you have any ideas and or will be around the Bay Area, like 2nd or 3rd weekend of January, let one of us know. We might have a particular challenge that you and a partner want to get involved with. Not going to spoil it, but if you're down to clown, let us know. Put it that way.
Cool. Thank you guys all. Enjoy the rest of your time here.